U.S. President Donald Trump has approved a major new pipeline initiative connecting Canada and the United States, reigniting debate over North American energy trade and long-term economic strategy. The proposed Bridger pipeline project would transport up to 550,000 barrels of oil per day from Canada into Wyoming, using sections connected to the former Keystone XL corridor. The announcement arrives at a tense moment between Ottawa and Washington, as Canada continues trade discussions with the United States while simultaneously trying to reduce its dependence on the American market. Canadian leaders are also exploring future pipeline expansion toward Western tidewater routes to increase overseas exports and strengthen access to global energy buyers. During an interview referenced by CBC News, Canada's Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, Tim Hodgson, said the federal government remains focused on building a stronger and more independent Canadian energy economy. Hodgson explained that Canada wants to become both a conventional and clean energy powerhouse while helping allied nations improve their energy security. He noted that most Canadian oil and natural gas currently flows to the United States, but Ottawa believes diversification is now essential. According to the minister, the government continues supporting projects tied to LNG expansion, the TMX pipeline system, and future export routes that could move additional Canadian energy toward international markets. When asked whether the new pipeline approval could strengthen Canada's position during trade negotiations, Hodgson urged caution, saying the project still faces multiple regulatory stages inside the United States. He pointed out that similar pipeline proposals have previously been approved and later canceled by different American administrations. For that reason, Hodgson emphasized that Canada cannot build its long-term trade strategy around political uncertainty in Washington. Instead, he said Ottawa is concentrating on projects within its own control, including domestic infrastructure development and expanded energy export capacity. The minister also addressed reports suggesting Alberta could soon propose another major pipeline expansion initiative. He explained that route decisions would ultimately depend on private project developers, Indigenous partnerships, regulatory approvals, and economic feasibility. Hodgson stressed that Canada's objective is not to reduce energy sales to the United States entirely, but rather to expand exports to additional countries and reduce over-reliance on a single customer. The conversation also turned toward the federal government's proposed Sovereign Investment Fund, a multi-billion-dollar initiative designed to support major national projects. While the fund is still under development, Hodgson acknowledged that future investments could potentially include ports, transmission lines, nuclear infrastructure, renewable energy systems, and pipeline projects. As global oil prices continue climbing amid geopolitical tensions overseas, the minister argued that Canada is increasingly being viewed as a reliable energy partner by allied nations. He said countries affected by instability in regions such as Eastern Europe and the Middle East are now treating energy security as a critical national. McKenna said Canada would benefit more from expanding direct access to global markets through both Western and Eastern export routes. He also rejected suggestions from American officials that Canada should avoid using energy and critical minerals as leverage during negotiations. According to McKenna, Canada contributes enormous value to the North American partnership through energy supplies, raw materials, border cooperation, and industrial integration. The former ambassador additionally criticized increasingly aggressive rhetoric directed toward Canada from some American political figures, arguing that many Canadian consumers have already responded by reducing travel and limiting purchases connected to the United States. Trade negotiations involving the United States, Canada, and Mexico were also discussed. McKenna argued that Canada's relationship with Washington differs significantly from Mexico's because of Canada's strong defense ties, balanced trade relationship, and deep manufacturing integration with the American economy. Beyond energy, Canada is also expanding its defense ambitions. Prime Minister Mark Carney recently confirmed that Canada will host a new NATO-linked defense investment bank intended to finance security and military-related projects among allied countries. Officials say the initiative reflects growing confidence in Canada's financial expertise, innovation sector, and defense industry potential. One company hoping to benefit from that expansion is Dominion Dynamics. Its CEO, Elliot Pence, recently joined the Prime Minister's U.S. Trade Advisory Council and discussed the future of Canadian defense innovation during an interview referenced by CBC News. Pence said Canada has a long history of advanced aerospace and military innovation, pointing to projects such as the Avro Aero, early drone development, and autonomous defense systems. He acknowledged that Canada became too reliant on American military suppliers over time, but believes the country now has an opportunity to rebuild its own defense manufacturing base. According to Pence, Dominion Dynamics is developing technology independently before seeking government procurement contracts, allowing innovation to move much faster than traditional defense programs. The company is reportedly working on systems designed to connect autonomous technologies and surveillance tools across Canada's Arctic and coastal regions. Pence also revealed he is relocating back to Canada after spending more than 2 decades in the United States. He said he believes Canada is entering a defining geopolitical moment and has an opportunity to strengthen its economy, sovereignty, and technological independence in a rapidly changing world. For the National Ledger, this growing focus on energy security, defense investment, and international trade could reshape Canada's role on the global stage for years to come.